Money Vikings, Money Viking G here. I got a special one for you today. I want to do a little recap of the last few years. I want to talk about several areas where we were spot on in terms of building wealth and personal finance and all that kind of stuff. And it's not a video to sort of, toot our own horn or brag or anything, but I'm trying to lay out for you the value that this channel can bring to a person, because Jerry and I have put our minds together for many, many years in terms of studying wealth building, studying investing, studying all kinds of, ways of personal finance. And I really do believe that we're bringing, the best of the best ideas. We're delivering them so that you can succeed. So with that, I want to go through a couple of ideas. So the first one I want to talk about is Bitcoin. So did a lot of videos many months ago about Bitcoin, but it's probably a good time to revisit it. So it is now behaving exactly as we planned, exactly as we said it would. It is a digital gold, and as the economy has turbulence, as money printing and debts and deficits go up, and as the value of the dollar goes down, as inflation and tariffs take a bite, we can all see that the value of that dollar that we work hard for just sort of loses ground. And honestly, lately it's felt like month after month it's lost ground, not even year after year. We all know that, a dollar does not go as far as it used to, which is fine under normal inflationary and normal tariff situations. But when you have inflation and tariffs, you are going to see a situation where the cost of just everything is just continuing to go up. I'm not seeing a lot of things that have come down very much. Housing hasn't come down. And I know that I'll get some comments about this or some pushback. And, oh, yes, housing is down and gas is down. Yeah, by very small amounts, actually. You can't really say it's down because, maybe it's eased a little bit. But you can feel it. I can feel it. Your paycheck feels it. It just, it doesn't go as far as it used to. And so that was the point of having a strategic amount of Bitcoin available in terms of your own personal Bitcoin exposure, Bitcoin strategic reserve, etc. So Bitcoin, I believe, will continue to outperform over the next couple of years. Beyond that, I have no idea. But I think in the next few years, I think it's a place to put capital that will add value. It is finite. It is a store of value. It is a medium of exchange. It will increasingly be used for those things, as far as I can tell. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But so far, so good. So far, we've been sort of spot on that one. Okay. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the raging 20s. So several years ago, we coined the term the raging 20s. This was early on in the 2020s. And the raging 20s are just going to continue to rage. It's a time of sort of upheaval in the global order. It's a time of cultural differences. It's a time of a lot of countries are having a hard time with cultural melting pots, and they're kind of closing their doors. They're closing their gates. They're trying to push people out. We're just going to have to see how that plays out. What does that mean for personal finances? Well, you have to look at things like growth stories. You have to look at population growth. You have to look at how demographics are going to continue to evolve in different parts of the world. Demographics is destiny. And, that's an old saying, but it's very, very true. So, a population that's just a bunch of old people will not survive. Populations need babies. You need people in the middle. You need a large swath of people in the middle that are working and producing and consuming. And so you need that middle. You need those babies to be the future, and you need some old people. But they're becoming top heavy. So you're getting very few babies, less people in the middle, and you're getting a lot of older people that are living a lot longer. It's great that we're extending life. That's an awesome thing. It's great that people are living longer and healthier. That's all great stuff. But demographics does affect an economy. If you have too many people on the top that aren't working and they're basically feeding off of the system, it can't really support itself. So that does affect an economy. So you have to be careful and thoughtful about that when you're doing your investment choices. That is why I would still be long-term bullish on the US. It's probably not popular to say right now, But, you know, Warren Buffett has always said it, and Berkshire Hathaway, et cetera, never bet against the U.S. He's continued to say that over the years. So basically, our demographics are not as bad as other places. So that's kind of the idea. Like Japan, really bad demographics. Places in Europe, like Germany, really bad demographics. China, really bad demographics. A lot of old people and not as many young people, and very few babies. So that's an issue as well. So that's one we were on. Okay, the last thing I'd like to touch on is strategic portfolio diversification. So the portfolios we put together have done very well. The whole Ride Your Bike portfolio, it's done fine over the years. It stands the test of time. I'm going to stick with it for the long run. And it's going to be something like, you know, you're going to have your classic S&P 500, sort of capture of some percentage there. I do like some bond exposure to like level out the bumps, and, you know, high quality bonds, of course, and bond funds. And then, you know, I do like some Bitcoin exposure. I like some real estate as well. And then I love the ETFs that cover like things like big dividend players and payers. So you've got your Schwab SCHD Schwab Dividend Index Fund. You have the VDADX, the Vanguard Dividend Growth Fund, etc. So those are still very long-term plays to me. Great place to continue to grow wealth, to compound, and to help fight the inflation and the tariff prices, you know, that are going to continue to eat at your standard of living and your quality of living, because you just will not be able to, you know, buy as much. So those are factors. Now let's do a little focus on the tariffs for a minute. We don't do a political show. There's nothing about this show, about our channel, that is political. But let me say this about tariffs. So tariffs are probably a good opportunity to go back to inflation defense systems and pull back on spending. So find places where, you know, do you really need to buy XYZ? You know, do you really need a new car right now? Maybe this isn't the time because the prices have gone up. Maybe it's good to wait a few more years. Do you really need to buy whatever it is? I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, maybe there's a place to pull back a little bit, reduce spending, reduce consumption. Reducing spending always helps the personal finances. I mean, you're just basically then adding more into your cash, into your investments, and you're adding less stuff to your house and your life. At the same time, that has to be balanced with enjoying life. So there's a place for, you know, nice dream vacation, whatever you're saving towards. But I would just say stay out of debt for a lot of that. I would say try to deal with all those things with cash as much as possible. So anyway, just want to do a quick recap of kind of where we've been the last few years, where we'll continue to look at where we're going. But I still think strategically diversified portfolios are the way to go. I would ride out volatility. That's what I'm doing. I'm adding some Bitcoin, of course, always have been. And I think that's always a good hedge and a good sort of store of value. And with that, hey, God bless you all. God bless the veterans and those that we've lost in this Memorial Day weekend. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.